Dumelang bethu. In the world of human resources, you use all the languages, including Fanakalo. Over the 5 decades, Botswana, this country has built expertise in the mining industry, particularly in the upstream mining. And this is reflected in its successful operation of the world's most productive mine and safely. Looking ahead, Botswana can leverage on this accumulated expertise and position itself as the global exporter of mining talent and expertise. And the extraction industry continues to evolve. Technology coming in, innovation coming in. It is important that we maintain key skills needed and become relevant. This session offers an opportunity that we have a panel of industry leaders in the global space and the academic to sit down the table with myself, a leader in human resource development, to discuss how we can achieve this objective of exporting talent and mining expertise. And to start with, I'll put in perspective the Naledi mining services story and how we are positioning ourselves. The story starts with understanding history. For one to understand the future, you need to know where you are coming from. And labor exploitation has been a world phenomenon that existed and still exists today. We all have somebody in our family who said they worked in the mines as early as 1906 or even before. We have been exporting mining talent here from Botswana. We are never left behind. And at peak in the years of 1960, 1975, we had the highest export of talent in the regions of 16,000. And mostly those were unskilled laborers. We reached 16,000 with unskilled laborers. And this recruitment was carried out by an international company called Native Recruitment Corporation, NRC. But over the years, from the 1990s, we have seen that there was a decline in the number of Botswana exported working in the mines to today, to where you could see that graph, the huge decline. And I want to pause there. In the current scenario, all the mines included, I don't think we are reaching 16,000 of local mining jobs with all the expertise we have. Of those, we are also faced with 23% of known unemployment rate, of which mostly are graduates. And we're also blessed with high literacy rate at 88%. Now we look, having appreciated the current, we look at the future. How does the future of mining look like? The mining industry is running out of talent. The mining industry is running out of miners. And this is evident by the uptake of mining courses by the new generations of Gen Z and millennials. The enrollment rates are going down and the graduation rates are going down. And their emphasis, we need to understand them, is the push for decent work, work-life balance, remote work is not exciting to them. Job security and all those have attributed to this decline. On the other hand, the opportunity exists and stands that there is an increased need for talent. And for example, the US is predicting that it will need about 12 to 15,000 additional new jobs in this space in the next 10 years. Having appreciated that, Botswana has an opportunity of leveraging value. And we have appreciated the current situation of unemployment in our country. We have strengths, and our strength is the pool that we have built over the years. of qualified and experienced miners, from graduates and some from the mines that had operated before. And there's also an outcry of the opportunity out there in the countries like Angola, DRC, Australia, and the US. So there's an opportunity that a player arises to link all this. And this is where Naledi strategically has positioned itself, that it is going to be the leader in exporting talent in the mining space through its initiative that is called Naledi Talent Bank. So there rises the opportunity. As we go through the industry, mines have been known to pay well, but this generation is saying to them, you can try to throw as much money as you want at me, but I'm not going to be attracted to mining. That's a reality. And mines have lived with this belief that if you can't grow it, you have to mine it. The trouble is here. Talent is grown, it's not mined. And this is where the human resource as a partner comes in play. Naledi has positioned itself to be a leader in providing talent relevant to the industry by positioning itself to be ahead of the skills curve. The skills in the market are changing. We are going through a curve. Mines that were open pit are going underground. There is digitalization, there is automation. The current talent might not be relevant tomorrow. Clearly, something needs to be done. And this is the work that we are rightly in the middle of it at Naledi Mining Services. Through our bank, we are retooling the employees to align them to the relevant frameworks that are needed. We are in collaborations with the universities to ask them, what do you need, so that we can align them with the industry that needs the required and relevant skills. And in it, we have put it together to build what we call a Naledi Talent Bank, the bank that will enable us to export relevant needed skills and earn the needed revenue. Above all, create employment for Botswana. In so doing, today I'm blessed to have a panel of industry leaders and experts that will help us to con and shape this intention of positioning our own Naledi as the market leader in mining labor exportation. And to do that, I'm going to sit and discuss some of the realities and some of the trends and learnings that we can directly benefit and share with the industry as we prepare to be a net exporter of mining talent. Thank you. We are going to share knowledge and trends and expertise that the industry needs to take and shape itself to enable talent exportation. Over the years, this country has been a receiver of experts, but we have got experts ourselves. So we are to unlock that value together. And to start with, Dave, I'm going to start with yourself to put together a question that says, how is the University of Botswana preparing its students for the future of work in the mining industry, in the new future of mining? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me just start by conceding that as a university, we have not been very agile and responsive to the changing trends in mining. Given the prominence of mining in Botswana, given the significant role that mining plays in terms of revenue for this government, I think the skills in mining, we should have really ensured that as a university, we are a net exporter of skills. But we do recognize that, and we are putting framework in place where we can produce graduates that fit into these changing processes, changing trends in mining. How are we doing that? The most important thing, and I must probably just backtrack a little bit and indicate that what we don't have in this country are what you call functioning ecosystems, functioning partnerships. Sometimes we talk of what you call triple helix partnerships, where universities or institutions of higher education work very closely with industry, work closely with government. Those are the partnerships that we need to forge. Why am I saying so? Because if we don't have these partnerships, the university would be doing its thing, industry will be doing its thing, government will be doing its thing. So what we are doing now, when we revise our curricula or develop new degree programs, we have what you call advisory boards. And these are advisory boards that are made up of members from Chamber of Mines, for instance, from the mining houses, for instance, and we sit together and say which curricula is fit for producing graduates that the industry needs.
Thank you, Pros. I'll come across to yourself, Khumo. Having worked in Botswana, Australia, Sierra Leone, and lately Mozambique, how does Botswana talent stack up in the regional context and internationally?
Thank you, Thapelo. In Portuguese, they say boa tarde, meaning good afternoon. Something that we are learning outside the country and inside the continent. I would say, to directly answer your question, Botswana has brilliant engineers. Botswana has brilliant talent that fares quite well, and if not above other talents from other jurisdictions. The challenge being there aren't really a lot of us in that space, so it would not be really a fair judgment to actually say we are the best amongst the crop. But high-level Botswana engineers are actually quite brilliant. The little that I've worked with in Botswana and also outside Botswana. Bring it back to Africa, Mozambique, and a bit of an experience from Sierra Leone as well. Unfortunately, in Sierra Leone, there weren't really a lot of mining engineers. There are Botswana in other disciplines, but in the mining industry, unfortunately, there weren't really quite a lot. The other challenge being that, I don't know, what we briefly discussed outside, to say we've got perception about Africa and the continent. You hear somebody telling them, no, I was in Sierra Leone, I'm working in Mozambique. The first thing the person would ask, how was Thapelo? Which is the perception that we have. But generally, I would say, if we open up ourselves a bit, Botswana engineers can do quite well wherever they are. And I think with the training that we got, I was actually sponsored and trained by Botswana. Worked for Botswana for like 12 years before jumping ship. But I would say the quality of training that we received from Botswana, from being a graduate all the way up until being a principal mining engineer in the same organization, is actually, I would say, compared to even other prominent big mining companies, as you meet in other companies, you'd realize that that is actually an exceptional. The way we were trained was actually quite exceptional and it's quite good.
Thank you very much, Khumo. Dr. Kolobe, Khosi, I would like to hear your perspective from working in the US. But on your side, talk to us on the required global trends, the talent needed to succeed. Thank you.
Good morning once again. I think at this point in time, everybody is asking themselves, how did he end up in the US? And The answer is the first time I went to the US, I was sponsored by the government of Botswana. I did my mining engineering bachelor's there and then graduated, came back home and worked for about three years. And I couldn't work with my bachelor's in the US, not because I had restrictions, I had job offers, but my government wouldn't let me do that. They wanted me to come back right away and serve the nation, right? So I came back. Luckily, the university I studied at in the US, they somehow liked me, and they brought me back for my master's PhD, and that's how I got to work, to start working there after graduating with my PhD. But then, to be in the mining industry, somebody lied to me because I was born and raised in Peak, they told me the general manager's salary could fit in 5 wheelbarrows, which wasn't true. So, yeah, they lied to me. So, my money cannot fit in a toy wheelbarrow right now. Now, to answer your question, from my perspective, working in the US, there are several global trends in talent development that we can utilize. Botswana can definitely align itself with such mining trends, and where possible, we can find a way to feed those global trends into our systems and make our systems functional for us. The first trend that I think is key is digital and technological upskilling of our people. The mining industry itself is rapidly embracing automation and artificial intelligence. It is with no doubt that data analytics is taking over, and it is very, very important. So in the US, there's a very strong push to equip workers with digital skills, and not just engineers. Here I'm talking about the entire workforce in the nation. I think Botswana can benefit by integrating similar skills and similar training into mining education as well as professional development programs. There should also be cross-disciplinary talent. There's a growing demand for professionals who can bridge technical mining knowledge with environmental science, data science, and even social governance. The future mining professional is no longer just a geologist or an engineer. They are also a communicator, a strategist, and a sustainability advocate. We've seen our minister yesterday, Boholo. She's not of mining background, but she can consider herself to be a mining engineer because of the experience she has gained in this industry. Botswana can also employ flexible work models. We have seen post-COVID remote monitoring and hybrid models, they have proven to really work. So if you can work remotely within the country or serving virtually outside the country, that is something to be considered because the world is moving in that direction. We talk a lot about DEI programs, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Botswana is going in the right direction of actually trying to promote leadership development for women. From the presentations we had yesterday, it looks like we are going the right direction. We are doing good, but doing good is not always enough. There's always going to be room for improvement there. So until we don't talk about men empowerment in the mining industry, that means that we are not there with women as well. The other thing is global mobility and credential recognition. US companies are increasingly looking for talent globally, but they also have standardized credentials. Botswana needs to align itself, align its mining qualifications with international frameworks to make its professionals more globally mobile. There are times when I want to hire somebody from my country, but I realize that their educational qualifications are not acceptable in the US, and that is very painful. I wonder if something can be done when it comes to that. In short, the future of mining talent is digital, diverse, and globally connected. Botswana has the expertise, there's no doubt about that. It's now about aligning these trends to amplify our impact on the global stage. Thank you.
Thank you, Khosi. You talked of the need to alignment to international requirements when it turns to training. And this takes me to you, Dave. What will be the role or the intention of academia in getting that alignment that these graduates work in and are relevant in the international space, especially Europe and Asia?
Yeah, even though it has been partially answered, it's very important that we do ensure that the curricula that we have at the University of Botswana is aligned with international bodies. Like you have the Washington Accord, you have the South African one, you have the Sydney one, and there's another one, I think about 4 of them. Even the South African one, like I mentioned, and our own ERB. So it's very critical, and those are the things that we are doing to ensure that our curricular degree programs are accredited by these bodies. And I must say, with joy, that is actually one of our alumnus from the University of Botswana.
Thank you, Prof. You are doing well. You have got evidence in front of everybody here. Khumo, the intent is to export talent. And in every intent, there could be challenges. The question I'll put across to you is, from mines are known to be unionized across the globe. Could there be any challenges around a pushback of localization? Would we have come across any that we could prepare and be aware of? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Thapelo. I think we can all see, I'll focus my answers mostly on the African context or on the African continent. I think we can all see what is currently happening in the world or in the continent currently, where a lot of governments are actually saying the minerals belong to Africans and its citizens, where several mining companies, I would say mostly in West Africa, their licenses have been cancelled. But really the cry from the different governments is, let our people benefit from these mineral resources, be it through participation, which is what we've been discussing the past 2 days, or even through employment. So in terms of unions, it also depends on the level of maturity for the governments, which is what I've observed. In Botswana, yes, we did have unions, or we do have unions. In South Africa, unions, more especially the NAM, or National Union of Mine Workers, is very much prevalent and very influential. Unfortunately, or I wouldn't say unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you want to see it, Sierra Leone didn't really have much of union impact, where we saw a lot of expats being from South Africa and also from Zim, and a few from Ghana in Sierra Leone. In Mozambique, we do have union, they do play a part, which does also say, train, as experts, come and train our people and hand over the baton so that our people can also benefit, which is, I believe, what Botswana has always tried doing. Come train our people and hand over the baton. So for me, I think to try and curb that union or really localization aspect, Botswana can actually talk from government to government to actually say, can we export mining engineers? Whatever Naledi is trying to do in terms of talent bank, let it be a government conversation to actually say, can we do import or give you engineers for this particular period in time? They come in and train your people, they pull back. At a government level or at a policy level, we've had, I think, in the medical fraternity where we've seen doctors from Cuba come as a government initiative to Botswana. So Botswana can do the same in terms of Sierra Leone, you just discovered your diamond mines, or your diamond mines, you've got diamond expertise. Can we give you 10 engineers for a period of 5 years? Similarly, anywhere really in the world, DRC, can we give you 10 mining engineers? So really, it's a government-to-government initiative, such that even the unions that are now protesting, or that could be potentially protesting, instead of them feeling that experts are coming in and taking our people's jobs. If it's a government initiative, it can sort of curb that challenge that unions in different jurisdictions are protesting against. But like I said, from my experience, the unions are not that much prevalent, more especially in West Africa or in Ghana. So there lies an opportunity for us to actually train that part of the world on how to sort of go about this industry.
Thank you very much. This will be my last set of questions, and as I pose it, it will be one question, and I would like the panelists to wrap with it or their submissions. Is there any obstacle that is preventing Botswana, from our perspective, that we could have more in the international market? And from your experience, what can you say, especially from the mindset perspective? Thank you.
Honestly, I don't think there's anything preventing Botswana from participating in the continental or international mining industry. Like I've highlighted, the qualifications that we have or that we possess, most of them are international. The experience or the training that I got from Botswana actually fares way above majority of what I've seen in the different mining companies. So the short answer to it is no, there's nothing preventing us. The challenge that I've seen is, as Botswana, I understand it's changing. We are very much comfortable, whether it's a negative or a positive, it's another thing, or it's a discussion for another day. Most of Botswanas that I've encountered or interacted with, you say there's a job opportunity. Yeah, maybe Australia it's their favorite. There's an opportunity in somewhere in Africa. A person will tell you, no, I'm comfortable at home. So really, outside the perceptions that we see, mostly around the African continent, there's a lot of opportunities that Botswana can participate in the African continent. We've been mining for more than 50 years now. A lot of, and I think our mining policy has actually been faring as one of the best in the African context, and arguably in the world. So for me, I think we are a step ahead. We can actually give back to the continent. The diamonds that we've been mining, we can actually also give back in terms of skills to the rest of the continent, to develop the skills within the continent. So one, Botswana, we can also open ourselves up to different opportunities, because what we are seeing in the media, to a certain extent, yes, there are some challenges in other jurisdictions in terms of stability and safety, but most of the African continent is actually safe to participate and operate in. So if we can just get rid of that mindset to say, potezi ditobolo mo Africa. I'm not saying it's not, but I'm saying it's actually overly exaggerated than what it is. So Botswana, there's nothing really preventing you from going outside. The government of Botswana, there is an opportunity for us to forge strategic partnerships in terms of skills. BK talked about Talent Bank, and Thapelo talked about it earlier on. So in a more structured and a strategic approach, I believe Botswana can easily fit in anywhere. But cultural-wise, Africans, we are similar, a lot more similar than we think. So we can fit anywhere and actually operate in the world, or even in Africa. So yeah, there is good opportunities that Botswana can actually explore in sending talent out into Africa and the world.
Thank you, Khumo. Dr. KK, you need to be KK to again the mind. Is there any obstacle, and talk to the mindset in your conclusion? What mindset is needed to excel in the diaspora? Okay. In the space of excelling, talk to the mindset needed to excel in your conclusion.
The mindset to excel in the mining environment. Really, I would say the mining industry is virtually connected in 2025. One doesn't have to leave their country or to leave their external country of profession to come and work in Botswana in order to contribute. But if returning professionals were to come into Botswana and play some roles, they can play transformative roles in skills transfer and mentoring Botswana's mining sector. And there are so many ways we can accomplish that. By bridging global and local practices, also returning professionals to the country can help mentor and coach young ones within the nation. We can also help with curriculum development and training, collaborating with local institutions to update training programs and ensuring that they reflect current industry needs. This would help the graduates to be job ready and globally competitive. We can also help by fostering innovation and being role models and inspiring others. In essence, returning professionals to these nations are not just bridging the knowledge or bringing back the knowledge, they are also bringing back the momentum. If we create the right platforms for them, share, mentor, and lead, the ripple effects will be felt across the entire industry.
Thank you, Doc. Prof, in your closing.
Thank you very much. I really don't see any impediments. For me, the greatest resource that we have is our mind, is our intellect, is the education that we have in this country. So it's how do we believe in ourselves? The greatest impediment is whether we believe in our abilities. But I want to call out to industry partners, to everybody out there, that University of Botswana is a very, very reliable and useful partner for you. Trust us. Let's work together. We have solutions for you. If you visit us, say for instance, we started an innovation center there. Go there, come and see the innovations that are coming out of this innovation center, the solutions to problems that are out there. Let's trust each other, believe in us, let's forge this partnership that I spoke to earlier. We can do a lot together.
This concludes our discussions on the intention to export talent. We have heard the industry, leaders in the diaspora who talked to us the journey, and the professor summed it up to say to the industry, they are available to support us. And as Naledi, our hand is up. Through us, we believe we can work with the talent, that is the people, to be a net exporter of talent across the globe and taking all the learnings that has been shared, not only to ourselves, but to the industry as well. Thank you.